Okay, it is Sunday morning. It's about 7 a.m. and I'm going on an excursion today with some of the people from the group. We're going to the Mekong Delta, so that's where they have the floating markets. I'm not sure if we're going to see the floating markets because we're getting there kind of late, but it's an all-day excursion from 7:30 till about 3:30, and I hope I'm dressed right. And I'm wearing sneakers today. I'm going to try to sneak out and find a coffee to drink on the bus. Okay, so here's what happened with that Mekong Delta excursion that I told you about. I did go, I got my coffee, and I went to meet up for the Mekong Delta excursion. Well, I got into the vehicle and it was a van and there were no seat belts. So I knew we were going to be driving on the highway for about 3 hours, and I just wasn't going to do it in a van with no seat belts. I know that you have to take risks in life and you never know when your time's going to come, but I don't want to go that way. Being thrown out of a van at high speed when a seatbelt would make the difference between life or death. So, kids, note that I got out of that van and I just told them I wasn't feeling well and that I wasn't going to go. And again, there's going to be situations that I'm in where I probably can't avoid being without a seatbelt without making a scene, but you know, we hadn't left yet. It was easy enough. I just said I wasn't feeling well, got out of the van, hadn't even paid for the excursion yet. It was no big deal. So I didn't end up going to the Mekong Delta. And side note, my friend in the group, the one who's my age, when she got back, she told me I didn't miss much. It wasn't a very professional tour. And I would like to see the Mekong Delta, but I'll probably go there another time on my own. Okay, I stopped at this roadside stand to get a drink, and I'm not sure what it is. I guess it's some kind of oranges, but she's squeezing it for me fresh, as you can see. Here's my finished drink. From what I can see, Vietnam is putting plenty of plastic into the world, including the straws. So, yeah. I don't know what to make of that, and maybe I can figure out how not to ask for a straw next time, but I got it. All right, let me try this drink and I'll tell you how it is. Oh my God, it's delicious. Yeah, it's orange juice, but it's freshly squeezed, and I think she added sugar to it because it's super sweet, but it's really fresh and delicious. Also, while you can't drink the tap water in Vietnam, I've read that you can drink all the ice. All the ice in the restaurants and the roadside stands is ordered in, and some companies make it filtered water, so the ice is okay. Okay, so I drank up my refreshing orange juice, and I've just been sitting at this roadside cafe for a while. We sit on these little plastic chairs. They're really tiny. They're like little Cusco chairs. I'm sitting on one too. Okay, so I just paid for my juice, and it was about 80 cents for that fresh squeezed orange juice. So 20,000 Vietnamese dong. And I sat in that little plastic chair on the street I must have sat there for like an hour. I called my daughter, talked on the phone for a bit, and then I just sat there on my phone for like an hour, just kind of watching the time go by. But there was another pair of Vietnamese people at my table. It looked like a mother and a son, and they were sitting there too, just for an hour with their juice, just kind of sitting there passing the time. So, you know, the pace is a lot slower in this country. People just sit and take in the day a lot, so that was interesting. Now I'm going to walk to the same restaurant that some of the women in my group showed me yesterday, and it's a Western style restaurant. I'm on my own today, so I think I'm just going to go and have a regular Western breakfast. I've got plenty of time to eat street noodles on a plastic bench, so I'm just going to go to a Western restaurant today. I'll show it to you when I get there. This street I'm on is called Dien Bien Phu. memorial to the famous battle where the French fell to the Vietnamese and French independence occurred in 1950. Vietnamese independence occurred in 1954. So I believe there'll be Dien Bien Phu Street probably in just about every city. And so I'm walking to that restaurant, the Western style restaurant that's inside a hotel now. Just want to show you some of the street scene as I walk. Okay, on my way to that restaurant, I just passed this little alley where this gentleman is displaying his art. It's kind of interesting. It's this beautiful little alley. Look at that. So there seems to be a lot of these little quiet corners in Ho Chi Minh City. I just wanted to show you this little alley. I'm gonna head back out to Dien Bien Phu now and be on my way. Okay, I'm almost there at this restaurant that I'm going to. Crosswalks. Surprisingly, I found that the crosswalks, they kind of work better than I expected. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a school? Sure. Again, you see some of the French colonial influence here and the more modern buildings mixed in. I'm going to go to Le Cafe Restaurant and Bar inside of this hotel. This is the lobby. It's nice and air conditioned in here. Feels pretty calm. Okay, I'm going to sit at this nice booth by the window. Let's see. Here's my cappuccino that arrived. Looks beautiful. I also brought some bread. Okay, here's this beautiful breakfast that I got. Looks like 2 perfectly poached eggs, mushrooms, some greens, and there's the roasted tomato. And I also brought 4 slices of toast. I'm not sure what all I'm supposed to do with all that bread, but it looks wonderful. Okay, so the breakfast and the cappuccino were $10. Again, that's very high for Vietnamese standards, but it's worth the splurge. And I'm gonna take off. It's actually pretty warm in here. I'm sweating a lot, so the air conditioning isn't that strong. So I'm gonna take off and head back to the hotel on foot.